Hey everyone, welcome inside Studio AP for a YouTube edition of Morning Drive. Were you watching the action this weekend in Japan? Tiger Woods getting win number 82, tying Sam Snead for all-time PGA Tour victories. So when asked to describe Tiger's form this week in Japan, here's what our own Brandel Chamblee had to say, just in case you missed it.
In the last 10 years, it's been a hell of a roller coaster ride. You know, most of the time it's sort of been macabre. Sometimes it's been marvelous. He's looked damned. He's looked redeemed. But this week, he looked the best perhaps I've ever seen him. More technically exact and more precise. Not as fast because time takes, a scythe to everybody's power, right? It's done that. But from a technically precision standpoint, I don't know that I've ever seen him better. I don't know that I've ever seen him more matter-of-fact on the golf course. And I don't know that I've ever seen him more comfortable and accepting off of the golf course. Again, you start to put all those things together, and it looks to me like this caught everybody off guard. I mean, he typically hasn't started very fast. I mean, this year, his first-round scoring average was 174. 2018, it was 62nd. This is the first time Tiger Woods has won wire-to-wire since we started being aware of his injuries, which was about 2007. You go back to the PGA Championship, you see him limping out of bunkers. The last time he won wire-to-wire, previous to this, was the 2006 WGC that was played in England. He won by 8. And by the way, he's only won wire-to-wire before this 7 times by my count. So it's not like he's done it a lot, the first being the U.S. Open in 2000. So this is the first time since he's come back from injury, from scandal, from the colossally catastrophic short game issues, to put it all together, to come back and look as solid in round number 1 and as clinical in round number 1 as he looked in round number 4. It was extremely unlikely. I mean, the 64 in round number 1 got my attention, but then the more I watched his golf swing, the more I looked at him, it was like he had turned back the clock. And again, not as powerful, but from a technically precise standpoint, you'd be hard-pressed to ever point to a specific spot in his career where he was better. Yeah, okay, his golf swing was beautiful in 2000, but what it lacked in sort of that technical precision that he had this week, it made up for with power and dominance and explosiveness, and it awed you. But in the same kind of way, this one awed you with its technical precision, and it was evident as the week wore on.
At the age of 43, Tiger Woods has secured that 82nd PGA Tour win. So, Robert Damron, I want you to react to Brandel Chamblee's comments just there. Technically, he has never seen Tiger looking any better than he did last week. Would you agree with that?
No, I think that you've got to go back to 2000 and 2001. That's just such a dominant form. For me to agree exactly what Brandel would say, I would have to have him here and talk a little more technical. What do you mean technically sound? I would have to see that. Was it great? Yes. Is it slower? Yes. Was he controlling the ball better than he ever has? No. I mean, when you factor in that he was controlling the ball that well with a lot more speed, I think that's a little bit better.
I think Brandel's probably looking at the lens of a 43-year-old who has gone through so much, some of it his own doing, some of it the health and the condition of his body, to be able to put everything back together. I think it's an appreciation for Tiger at this point in his career. I don't think the game of golf has ever been played any better than Tiger Woods during the summer of 2000 when he won a U.S. Open by 15 and an Open Championship by 8. But I think it's almost the holistic presentation of Tiger now as a father, as a 15-time major champion, as someone who can win not just flying bunkers from 330 yards like he used to do, but can win by being the ultimate chess master in a game of chance.
I think chess master is a great word. And I think when Brandel uses the word technically, I think when we watched Tiger Woods play the last 4 or 5 days, there was never a time that you felt like double bogey was in place. And I think that's kind of where Brandel was starting from. Back in 2000s, he was dominant, yes. But there were times where he'd be off a little bit. This swing and the way that he is playing right now, if he plays this way, all of these great minds in golf right now are saying, oh, these players aren't scared of Tiger Woods anymore. He doesn't have that dominance over them that he did, 20 years ago. But what it does is makes other players say, you know what, I cannot afford to make a mistake. Yesterday, Hideki would have had to make 3 or 4 more putts. It wasn't going to be Tiger coming back. And if that's the Tiger Woods we're going to have now, I don't care if Brandel's right or not. I think what we're seeing is a Tiger Woods that is taking mistakes out of play, and that can be equally as dominant sometimes.
Another observation of Brandel was just his level of comfort, yes, on the course, but off the course. We've been talking for a while now how this is the new chapter of Tiger Woods. He's enjoying his time out there. He's interacting with players. He's giving youngsters a lot more time than he ever has done. Is this a completely new Tiger? And what are our expectations, bringing all of this into account of the Tiger that we see today?
Well, it's just a different mindset for Tiger for a few things. He's older, he's got kids, but mostly also golf was very nearly taken away from him a few different times when he thought, I can maybe never play again. So when you not only get to play again, but get to play at that level, your appreciation and your perspective have to change. They just have to. What's going forward? Boy, I don't know. Time will tell. I've made these predictions a few times, and I've been wrong, I think, pretty much every time. I thought he wasn't going to win again. He did. I thought he'll never win a major again. He did. When he won the Masters, I go, he's going to win everything from now on, and he did it. So it has been a roller coaster. That is one thing Brandel said a few times, and he was dead on with that one. It's been a crazy ride.
No one is immune from the heavy hands of Father Time, and that's throughout the history of sports. We're talking about Willie Mays falling down in center field as a member of the New York Mets after being such a wonderful player with the Giants, or Mickey Mantle in his knees, or Dan Marino, tearing an Achilles and not being able to move in the pocket. Eventually, time is going to run out for Tiger Woods. I think because of that, he knows he has limited reps and limited opportunity. There is an appreciation of this moment right now because there was a time where he didn't believe these Sundays and Mondays would ever happen again.
And I also think that it started to get to a point where even he didn't care about winning as far as, do I care about getting out there anymore if I'm still going to feel this way? Winning didn't matter. How many times did he say it over the course of the last several years? I just wanted to walk again. He said it in his press conference. He said, I just wanted to get down and line up a putt. He couldn't even do that this year. And it spoke volumes and answered so many questions that we've had here on this show the last 7 months. Is why isn't Tiger playing? What's going on? If he can get his body fixed, like it looks like it's fixed now, these next 5 years could be the greatest 5 years in the history of the PGA Tour.
That's a big if, because at best we think right now his body's almost a house of cards. It might not be his back because his back was fixed, and then he wins at the Tour Championship and Augusta, and we think this is great, but it's something else. And it wasn't his back. His back seems to be better than it was his knee. The guy's just kind of piled the injuries up more frequently over the last 8-10 years.
But he's had 3 wins in the last 13 months despite all of these issues.
Yeah. I thought he looked great
going into the week.
I thought he looked tired at the end of the week. And
I thought he looked hurt yesterday.
Okay, I mean, I agree. He looked a little slower, a little slow. It was a long week, but I mean, that's what makes this win so incredible. Yeah. He looked spry, I thought, at the Skins game. He looked a little tired at the end, and understandably so. So we don't know. You mentioned the Masters. He's going to win the rest of the majors, and then he doesn't, do it for the rest of the year. I think it's going to be a week-to-week thing.
If Tiger carries on in this way that he has, 13 months, 3 wins, I mean, are we looking at a resurgence to world number 1?
100%, I think he'd get back there, because if he's playing this well in what was supposed to be his preseason, this is supposed to be a preseason game for him, and he goes out and wins an official PGA Tour event. Those 5 names above him, they better watch out.
It's going to take a lot.
They better watch out.
Considering Brooks Koepka's performances in the major championships, where all of those world golf ranking points are available, it is going to be a monumental climb for a 43-year-old to try to supplant Brooks Koepka. I thought a year and a half ago, my bold prediction was Tiger would be ending last season as number 1 in the world. Even with that win, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to supplant Brooks.
Everything that Tiger has done in the last year and a half has been a monumental climb. And we always think that that's the ceiling, that's the end. The Masters is the end. The Tour Championship was the end. And now the 82. You get the feeling that you cannot ever predict when this man sets his mind to something, what he can achieve.
There's no question about it. But you also know these other great players have got their mindset too. And they might not be as consistent. They might not be as clutch down the stretch. But any given one can blow the field away when you're looking at those players in front. Brooks, Rory, DJ, Thomas, Jon Rahm, who we haven't even, I don't think we've scratched the surface of Jon Rahm's ability yet. So we've got Cantlay consistent. He was right behind Tiger. Can he do it? Of course, he can do anything.
Tiger wins a
He
couple
can do
of
anything.
times,
But it's not as easy as you guys kind of made it out to be.
Yeah,
No, I agree with that. But when you can have motivation on both sides of the fence is why I said what I said about the PGA Tour the next 5 years. If you can have these 5 guys motivated, you remember, was it Justin Thomas that was talking when he played against Tiger? It's like, this is what I've dreamed about, is playing Tiger when it matters in the wrath. You know, all of these guys right now are dreaming about playing against this Tiger Woods and saying, do I have what it takes down the stretch to match the greatest of all time? Can you imagine what we could see?
It'd be
in the
fantastic.
It'd be amazing.
We know that Tiger has the skill set and the mind to win 4 or 5 times in a season. Does he have the body to win 4 or 5 times in a season? That's my question. I have no doubt that he has the mental ability and the skill set to get it. Will his body allow him to prepare to wake up 4 hours before tournament and get his body stretched out and limber and warm, as he said last year, to win? Guess what? As he used to do.
Guess what? If you're winning, that makes your body want to get out of bed and keep going. And now that he's won in October, stop it.
Yeah. We know that Brooks isn't really phased by a good, strong Tiger Woods either. Coming
that's what's so delicious about what potentially.
Oh, I can't wait to coach him up. Can't wait to coach up Brooks.
You're coaching up Brooks.
I can't wait to see that either, but Tiger has put everything in place for a magnificent 2019-20 season. LT, back to you.
Thanks, Anna. Well, if you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to subscribe to Golf Channel's YouTube page for more and tune into Golf Channel and Morning Drive every day for the latest around the game.